Welcome to another webinar series, webinar session. During this session, I am going to discuss with you question bank, which means now if you look at previous webinar series as well as the topics that we have covered during this webinar series, almost all the chapters to a great extent we have covered. Therefore, I thought of discussing mixed question, MCQ question, right? You have few questions banks, each consists more than 20 questions or at least 20 questions. So, in this session I am going to discuss with you 20 questions which will cover all the topics that is there in your syllabus, right? Fine. Before that, I wanted to give you some insights about accounting standard which are applicable to your level. If you look at this slide, first slide, these are the all accounting standards, right, applicable for BL1, business level 1 exam, and all these standards we have already discussed. In previous webinar session we have discussed LKS 1, and this series, during this series we have discussed LKS 2 in detail. If you check previous webinar series, LKS 7 we have discussed, and LKS 8 also we have discussed in previous webinar series, right? Event after reporting period also previous webinar series, during previous webinar series we have discussed. LKS 12 we have discussed during previous webinar series. LKS 16 also we have discussed during previous webinar series. Leases also we have discussed, and SLFRS 15 we are planning to discuss during this webinar series, most probably next webinar session. Employee benefit LKS 19 also we have discussed during previous webinar series. LKS 37 provision contingent liabilities and contingent assets also we have discussed during previous webinar series. So, altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All these 11 accounting standards we have discussed, other than what? Revenue from contract. Only that standard remains to discuss. That will be the next topic, right? After this question bank discussion, we will go and discuss LKS 15, right? SLFRS 15, sorry, not LKS 15. So, with that, all accounting standard relating to your level we have completed, right? So, if you need to pass this exam, you need to refer this webinar series as well as previous webinar series. All these things are there in YouTube. Go out, download, or go and watch those all those things. Otherwise, by watching only this series, you might not be able to pass, right? Fine, done. This is some insight about what accounting standards. But if I move into straight away question bank, this has 20 questions, right, from different chapters. So, since it is from different chapters, this will help you to understand to what extent you have started your studies. Are you competent to manage any exam question, or to what area should I give more focus? For what topics in this subject I am good at? So, what topics I need to further improve? To take that understanding, holistic view, I thought of including this question bank in the mid of this webinar series, rather than waiting till the last moment, right? If I can do, the plan was to do this at the end of the journey, but I thought of taking this into advance because this will give you some insight, which means this will be a good eye opener, right? Fine, done. We will discuss first question. A firm has following transaction with its product R. That's a product R. These informations they have given. What information they have given? opening inventory nil, there's no opening balance. 1st February 2000, forget about the year, right? Let's say 2021 or 2011, whatever, right? Buy 10 units at 300 per unit. 11 February, 12 units at 250. 1st April, 8 unit they have issued at 400 unit per unit. August month, again they have buy 6 unit at 200. 1st December, they sell 12 units at 400 per unit. The firm uses FIFO to value its inventory. They use FIFO basis to value inventory. What is the inventory value at the end of the year? FIFO basis. දැන් ඉතින් FIFO බැරි නම් අය යන්න FIFO හොඳට කතා කරා අපි වෙබිනාර් සීරීස් එකේ. FIFO වලින් ගණන් හැදුවා. right? weighted average වලින් ගණන් හැදුවා. ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න. පරණ වීඩියෝ ඕපන් කරලා බැලුවොත් ඔයාලට පේනවා. right? fine. done. there are four answers. දැන් මේකනේ හරි උත්තරේ තෝරගන්නත් ඕනි. දැන් written exam එකෙන් අපිට කරලා පෙන්නන්න පුළුවන් exam එක මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි අපි steps ටික එක step එකක් වලදී balance එක ලකුණු හම්බෙනවා. මේක එහෙම හම්බෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. therefore be careful. right? අපි හදලා බලන්න ඕන කොලවල දැන්. right? okay, purchase you have අපි බලමු කොහොමද හදන්නේ කියලා. purchase කරපු detail තියෙනවා. purchase sales detail they have given, right? and we need balance inventory value, right? balance කොච්චරක් quantity තියෙනවද value එක ඕනේ. මොකද value එක තමයි අපිට වැදගත්. and per unit cost if you want. per unit cost. මෙන්න මේ column එකට detail ටික දාගෙන යන වැඩේ ලේසි. right? 1st January inventory මොකුත් තිබිලා නැහැ. 1st February they have purchased 10 units at 300. 1st February purchased 10 units, right? they have purchased how much? 10 units, right? 10 units, right? 10 units, yes. no sales, 10 units, balance 10 මයි එතකොට opening නැති හින්දා purchase කරන්නේ 300 ගානේ. 300 into 10 3000. හරිනේ? 300 into 10. balance එක එහෙමමයි 10යි. 11th February, right? 11th February, again they have bought another 12 units. 12 units, no sales, balance එක කීයද? 10 plus 12 22. හරිනේ? 10යි 12යි 22යි. value how much? they purchase at 250 into 12. 3,000. 250 into 12, 3,000. What has happened? Third transaction, 1st April. 1st April. What has happened? They have sold 8 units at 400. 8 units, no purchase, 8 units they have sold. The basis is what? FIFO. First in, first out. එහෙනම් පළවෙනියට උන්නේ මේක තමයි out කරන්නේ 10. වලින් first in මේක second in. First in වලින් first out. 8ක් අයින් කරනවා. -8. කී ගාන දෙන්නේ first in උනේ 300 ගානේ. 300 into 8. 8 වරක් තුන 24යි. 2400 minus why? Sale. Simple ne? Right. What is next? 1st August they bought 6 unit at 200. 6th August 6 unit at which price? 240. No sales at 240. 6 unit they have added. Sorry, how do you calculate මේක balance column එකනේ. එහෙනම් දැන් 22කින් 8ක් ගියපුවාම 14යි. 14ට 6ක් එකතු වුණාම 20යි. 8ක් minus නේ. 22 minus 8 14 22 14 plus 6 20 එහෙම තමයි එන්නේ. එහෙනම් වැලියු එක කීයද? 240 ගානේ 6ක්. 240 into 6 1400 sorry 200 right? Yes 200. 200 gone. 200 into 6 1200 value. Then 1st December again they have sold 1st December. They have sold how many units? 12 units. Sold 12 units. 54. මෙතන 8ක් තමයි මයිනස් උනේ. එහෙනම් තව දෙකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ දෙක යන්න ඕනේ නා. 2 යනවා දෙකක් මයිනස් වෙනවා. ඉතුරු 10 යන්නේ මෙතනින්. -10. 5 නේ. මෙතන 5 එකේ තව දෙකක් ඉතුරු වෙනවා. එහෙනම් දෙකක් යනවා 300 ගානේ. all together කීයක් අයින් වෙනවද? 20න් 12ක් ගියපුවාම 8යි. ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ 8යි balance quantity එක. This is the balance quantity after all these transactions. එතන ඉවරයි? right. value එක 8 යන්නේ දෙකක් sorry 12 යන්නේ දෙකක් 2 at 300 which means 600 right 600 then another 10 from 22 which is 250 2500 ඔන්නක තමයි උත්තරේ. මොකද මේ 10න් 8ක් ගියා දෙකක් ඉතුරු ඒ දෙක 300 ගානේ විකුණනවා. විකුණන්නේ 300 ගාන නෙවෙයි. right? විකුණන්නේ 300 ගාන නෙවෙයි. විකුණන්නේ 400 ගානේ. that's a different story. අපිට විකුණන ගාන වල නැහැ අපිට ඕනේ closing inventory එකනේ. විකුණන්නේ 400 ගාන වලට ගත්තේ 300 ගානේ. ඉතුරු 250 ඉතුරු 10 250 ගාන ගත්තේ වගේන් තමයි විකුණන්නේ 400 ගානේ. doesn't matter. right බලන්න දැන් value එක මේ column එක 3000 plus 3000 minus 2400 plus 1500 minus 600 minus 2500 1700. This is the total value of inventory according to FIFO method. The correct answer is what? Correct answer is B. B is the correct answer. Right? Fine. Question number 2. Which of the following provides advice to International Accounting Standard Board? Which of the following provide advice to International Accounting Standard Board as well as informing IASB of the implication of proposed standard of users and preparation of financial statement. IASB ට advice දෙන්නේ කවුද? The IFRS Advisory Council, IFRS Interpretation Committee, IFRS Foundation, the trustee. IFRS Advisory Council is the correct answer. The IFRS Interpretation Committee job role is not to give advice, not to provide advices. They interpret international standard. IFRS Foundation, they are the people who found this, right? Set up that. Then trustee is not relevant, right? The correct answer is what then? Correct answer is A. Third one, what is the remaining balance on the suspense account after these errors have been corrected? After you correct all these things, what is the balance in suspense account? That's what they are asking. Suspense account balance after correcting all errors. Right? Samantha has extracted trial balance and created suspense account with credit balance 759. Balance brought forward. 759. There are some adjustments. After adjusting, they are asking the closing balance of suspense account. The sale invoice 4569 has not been entered in the accounting records. Completely one invoice amounting to 4569 completely omitted, has not been recorded, which means no credit, no debit. Both credit and debits are not there. If both credit and debits are not there, definitely there is no impact to trial balance. Trial balance will be tallied. Debit එකක් නෑ, credit එකක් නෑ. එහෙනම් suspense account එකට මේක ඉන්නේ නෑ. Suspense account එකේ balance එකක් create වෙන්න මේ transaction එක help කරන්නේ නෑ. This is not relevant to create any balance in suspense account. A payment of 1512 has been posted correctly to payable control account. Payable control account එකට හරියට ගිහිලා but no other entry has been made. Payable control account එක විතරයි ගිහලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් payable control account එක credit කරලා. එහෙනම් credit පැත්ත වැඩි. දැන් debit පැත්ත වැඩි කරන්න ඕනේ. debit එකක් නැති හින්දා තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ. right? එහෙනම් මොකද්ද මේක හරි double entry වෙන්න ඕනේ? cash credit මේ payment has been properly posted in the debtors control account. මොකද්ද double entry වෙන්න ඕනේ? payment cash credit AP debit, accounts payable debit. ඕකනේ වෙන්න ඕනේ. So this has been properly accounted. මේක දාලා නැහැ. මේක දාන්න දැන්. cash credit කරන්න suspense account එක debit කරන්න cash 1512. cash credit එක දාන්න 1512 suspense account debit. හරිනේ වැඩේ. suspense account එක මේක දාලා නැති හින්දා ඒක තියෙන suspense account එක ඇතුලේ. එහෙනම් ඒක debit කරන්න. right? done. මේ credit එක වැදිලා තියෙන දැන් කොහෙද? suspense account ඇතුලට. මේ net figure එකනේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් එකෙන් ගලවලා කරන් cash වලට credit කරන්න. Credit sale of 131 has been credited to sale account. Credit sale of $131 has been credited to sale account. ඒ මොකද්ද? credit sale එකක් වෙලා 131 has only credit sale වලට විතරක් දාලා. right? receivable වලට ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ නා. හරිය යන්න ඕනි receivable debit credit sale credit මේක දාලලු only you have recorded there මේක දාලා නැහැ. එහෙනම් receivable debit කරන්න 131 credit කරන්න suspense account එක receivable 131 1512 1512. What's the balance? $622. This is the balance. What balance? 622? Debit balance, because balance brought forward. Here balance brought forward, carried forward. 620. Debit balance will be created, right? Debit balance. Answer is D. Answer is D, right? Question number 4. Question number 4. Which of the following error should be identified by performing receivable control account reconciliation? Control account. අපි කතා කරන්නේ control accounts. මේ webinar series එක කතා කරා. ඒව බලලා තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ. Which of the following error should be identified by performing receivable control account reconciliation? Which means reconciliation, receivable control account reconciliation means මොකක්ද මේ කියන්නේ? Receivable control account reconciliation means sales day book. ඩේ බුක් එකේ බැලන්ස් එක අපි යවනවා සේල් නොමිනල් ලෙජර් එකටයි සේල් නොමිනල් ලෙජර් එකටයි ඩෙටර් කන්ට්‍රෝල් account එක. මේකත් නොමිනල් ලෙජර් එකක් නේ. මේකත් නොමිනල් ලෙජර් එකක්. sales day book එකේ double entry නැහැ. this is memorandum account. memorandum. දැන් data control account එක reconcile කරන්න මොකද්ද? reconcile කරනවා in data sales day book එකේ individual accounts වල data A data customer A customer B like that customer C අපි හිතමු data control account එකේට වැටුණා entry එකක් 100ක් කියලා මේ 100 break up එට එලෙන්න 50 30 20 100 right මෙහෙම ටැලි වෙන්න ඕනේ මේක තමයි reconciliation එක කියලා කියන්නේ දැන් අපිට අහන්නේ which of the following errors should be identified by performing receivable control account මොන වැරද්ද අපිට අහුවෙන්නේ a sale invoice 500 has been omitted from sales day book sales day book එකේ omit වෙලා මේක 500 worth of invoice ආයෙ නම් මේක මෙතෙන් එන්නේ නැහැ අතින් යන්නෙත් නැහැ එන ඒක බලපන්නේ නැහැ reconcile අඳුරන්නේ නැහැ මොකද මෙතන 500 worth of sale invoice they have omitted එහෙනම් මේක මේ වගේ රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ කරන්ට් account එකට යන්නෙත් නැහැ දෙකේම නැත්තම් අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ which means let's say this 500 customer has been invoice has missed එහෙනම් 50 කියන invoice එක miss වෙලා එහෙනම් miss වෙලා නම් මෙතෙන් එන්නේ කීයද 80 මෙතනත් එහෙනම් 80 අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ right a sale return 45 was entered as 54 in sales return day book sales return day book එකේ 45 එකක් 54 විදිහට එන්ටර් කරලා නෑනේ sales return day book එකේ එන්ටර් කරලා නම් ඒ වැරද්ද තමයි මෙතනත් රිෆ්ලෙක්ට් වෙන්නේ මොකද එතනින් තමයි මෙතෙන් එන්නේ සහ මෙතන අඩු වෙන්නේ එහෙනම් දෙපැත්තෙන් මේක අඩු වෙනවා ඒක අහුවෙන්නෙත් නෑ මොකද මේ වගේමනේ sales මෙතන වෙන වැරද්දක් අහුවෙන්නේ නැත්තම් මෙතනින් නම් මෙතෙන් යන්නේ මෙතෙන් එන්නේ දෙකේම එන්නේ වැරද්ද අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ. sales return book එකෙත් එමයයි. එතනින් නම් මෙතෙන් ඇඩ් වෙන්නේ දෙපැත්තටම එන එකම amount එක. එහෙනම් මේ වගේ වෙන වැරදි මේ වගේ අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ. Purchase of 72 were entered in sales return in the sales return day book and individual accounts. ඒවා sale day book return day book එකේ එන්ටර් කරලා වැරදිලා. ඒව අහුවෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. Total sales day book was miscasted by 200. මෙතන total sale book එකේ කීයද එන්න ඕනේ? 100 basically නේ. 100 එන්න ඕනේ. මේක 80 විදියට දාලා. එහෙනම් එන්නේ මෙතෙන්ද කීයද? 80. මෙතෙන් එන්නේ 80. මෙතෙන්ද 80 එනවා. individual accounts වල 100 තියෙනවා. අන්න අහුවෙන වැරද්ද. so reconciliation එක අහුවෙන මෙන්න මේ වැරදි. මෙතන තියෙන ගණිතයේ මේ වැරදි you will capture because මෙතන වැරදුනාට මේක calculation error එකක් මෙතන summary sum එක ගන්නකොට වැරදිච්ච එකක් මේ entries මෙතන එකින් එක බලනකොට 100 වෙනවා හැබැයි මෙතන sum එක තමයි මෙතන transfer කරන්නේ මොකද individual balances නෙමෙයි sales day book එකේ total balance at the end of the day you transfer control account මේකයි බලනකොට difference එකක් තියෙනවා so this will be identified correct done question number 5 right question number 5 now they are asking what is the total amount should be recognized for receivable in the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st November 2008 again you prepare this T account right they are asking trade receivable how much you will recognize as trade receivable right 30th November 30th November 2008. Carol had receivable of 598,600 as of 30th November 2008. Opening balance. Opening balance. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Not opening balance. Yeah. Carol has receivable balance 30th November 2008. Yeah. Okay. Receivable balance. අපෙන් අහන්නේ මොකද්ද? What the total amount should be recognized for receivable in profit or loss? වැරදිනේ මම මේ P&L එක ගහන්නේ. allowance එක අපිට හොයන්නේ. P&L allowance එකනේ යන්නේ ඒකට. allowance account. receivable allowance. P&L එක ගහන්නේ. sorry. debtors මෙච්චර දිනවා. Her allowance receivable balance how much? First day opening balance 12,460 opening balance. Receivable opening balance 12,460, right? And wish to charge 2% of receivable on 30th November 2008. They are willing to charge another 2% to receivable allowance account. For 98,600 is the balance. Take 2% of it. How much? 11,972. 11,972. You charge to P&L. Sorry. You are willing to they are asking how the amount you charge to P&L. Allowance you, okay, 2%, 11,970, right? That's when you calculate 2% from the outstanding debtor balance, right? That you had charged to P&L. And now they are saying on 29th November she received 635 in full. Right, receivable 30. They have received 635 in full settlement of debt that she had written off 30th November 2007. 2017 වල write off කරපු එක නැවත හම්බෙලා තියෙනවා. How much? 635. 635. මේක තමයි closing balance එක නේ. I was a little confused with this number, right? Because they are saying 2% they have to provide as receivable allowance based on the closing balance. එහෙනම් P&L ට යන්නේ කීයද? Opening balance තිබ්බා 460, 2460. මේ අවුරුද්දේ closing balance එක මෙච්චරයි, difference we will charge to P&L. 11,972. 12,460 minus 11,972. 488. This is the P&L. P&L here receivable allowance debit, P&L credit. Credit to P&L. 488. හරිනේ? Opening balance එක. මේක closing balance එක because they are providing 2% of outstanding balance. How much outstanding balance? 498,600 into 2% equal to this. This is a closing balance. Right? Not only this, you had to credit another 635, right? 635 because this is other income. All written off debtors you have received again plus 6,123. This is a total credit to P&L, right? Credit to P&L 1,123, which is they are in the answer C. The correct answer is C. Done. Question number 6. Right? Question number 6. They are asking what? What should the net effect on the profit be in the draft account for the year ended 30th April 2008 of adjusting above items. මේ items adjust කරාට පස්සේ profit එකේ තිබිය යුතු ගාණ කී දාන්න. What is the net effect? Net effect එක අහන්නේ. profit එක නෙමෙයි අහන්නේ. Net effect on the profit. උඩ තියෙන adjustment ටික කරාට පස්සේ net effect එක තියෙන profit එකට. බලමු කරලා වැඩි. මේ කියවලා තේරුම් ගන්න හරියට, right? Otherwise you will end up with some wrong answers. දැන් මේක යන net impact එක. මොකක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Jonna has prepared her draft account for the year ended 30th April 2008 and need to adjust them for following items. They want to adjust these items. Rent of 10,500, rent amount එක 10,500 was paid and recorded. Rent එක pay කරලා record කරා, right? Rent of 10,500 was paid and recorded on 2nd January 2007 for the period 1st January to 31st December 2007. 1st January to 31st December 2007. The landlord has advised that annual rent for 2008 will be 12,000, although it has not been invoiced or paid. Invoice කරාද pay කරාද කියලා දාලා නැහැ. 12,000 is the total cost. Property and content insurance to be paid is paid annually 1st March. Annually pay karna 1st March. Jonna has paid and recorded 6,000 on 1st March 2008 for the year from 1st March to 28th February 2009. What is the net impact? අපිට හදන්න කියන්නේ net impact එක කවදාද? Net impact 30th April 2008. මෙන්න මෙදාට net impact එක. බලන්න පළවෙනි transaction එක. Total rent cost එක කීයද? 12,000. Rent 12,000. 12,000 එක applicable වෙන්නේ කොයි කාලේ ඉඳන්ද? The total the advice 12,000. The landlord advised that annual rent for 2008 will be 12,000, although it was not although it has not been paid. Total එක 12,000. Rent 10,500 paid. අපි 12,000 වලට pay කරේ 10,500 was paid and recorded 2nd January 2007 for the period 1st January to 31st December. 1st January to 31st December. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි හැමදාම pay කරන්නේ January to December නේ. January to December. Rent එක pay කරන්නේ Jan to December. හොඳට බලා ගන්න. December. අපිට ඕනේ නම් මාස 4ක rent එකනේ. Jan to April. එහෙනම් මාස 4ක. දැන් ගිය අවුරුද්ද අපි 10,500 pay කරේ ජනවාරි 2007 ඉඳන් 31st December 2007 වෙනකල්. rent එක අපි pay කරත් නැතත් account කරන්න ඕනි. මේ ඔක්කොම බලපුවාම 12,000 තමයි total එක. මාස 4යි අපිට අදාළ වෙන්නේ 12න් 4යි. මෙන්න 12,000 divide by 12 into 4,000. 4,000 වලින් profit එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. මොකද මාස 4ක rent එක ගලපන්න ඕනේ මේ අවුරුද්දට. මොකද 10,500 last year 2007 figure එකක් දීලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ අවුරුද්දට 12,000. මේක එනං අඩු කරන්න ඕන profit එක. බලන්න property එක දෙවෙනි එක. Property at content insurance paid annually 1st March මාර්ච් පළවෙනිදා තමයි පේ කරන්නේ. right? ඒක පේ කරන්නේ 6000 that is applicable from 1st March 2008 to 1st March they have paid 1st March 2008 which is applicable 1st March to 28th February. අපිට මේ අවුරුද්දට එහෙනම් කීයද මාස? කීයද? මාස 10යි. right? Insurance prepaid. Insurance prepaid 6000 right 6000 තමයි total එක හැම අවුරුද්දම annual pay කරනවලු 1st March right අපි දැන් අපිට අදාළ වෙන්න කවදාද හදන්න කියන්නේ net impact 30th April 2008 වලට right එහෙනම් Jonah has paid and recorded record කරලා තියෙනවා 6000 අපි pay කරේ කවද්ද March පළවෙනිදා 2008 මෙන්න මේ 6000 pay කරේ March පළවෙනිදා 2008 අපිට අදාළ මාස දෙකයි මාර්ච් and ඒප්‍රිල් නේ මේකයි ඒප්‍රිල් එකයි to ඒප්‍රිල් මාස දෙකයි හැබැයි අපි 6000 රෙකෝඩ් කරලා තිනවා පේ කරා කියලා එහෙනම් මාස දෙකක කීයද ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා මාස 10කනේ මාස දෙකයි අපිට අදාළ එහෙනම් 10 කීයද මේක ප්‍රීපේමන්ට් එකක් එහෙනම් මේක අයින් කරන්න ඕන ප්‍රොෆිට් එකෙන් 5000 right මේක අයින් කරන්න ඕන ප්‍රොෆිට් එකෙන් හොඳට බලන්න මේක හින්දා දැන් 6000 ම P&L එක ඩෙබිට් කරලානේ හොඳට බලා ගන්න 6000 වලින් P&L ඩෙබිට් කළා මෙයා කියනවා මේ property Jonah has paid and recorded 6000 pay කරලා රෙකෝඩ් කරලා P&L එකෙන් දැන් මේ 6000 අඩු කරලා ඇත්තටම 6000 නෙමෙයි අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ මාස දෙකක එක එහෙනම් මාස දෙකක් අඩු කරපු එක එකතු කරන්න net impact එක 10යි credit 10,000 right the correct answer is what increase profit will be increased by 1000 credit can increase 1000කින් වැඩි වෙනවා මේ වගේ ඒවා ඉතින් කල්පනා කරලා මේ වගේම කරන්න ඕනේ කල්පනා කරේ නැත්නම් වැඩේ අමාරුයි හරියට කරගන්න question number 7 read this මේ date එක පොඩ්ඩක් පැටලවිලි තියෙනවා හරියට කල්පනා කරලා ගන්න ඕනේ question number 7 they are asking in accordance with IAS 7 cash flow statement what is the net cash flow from about transaction would be included within net cash flow from investment activities for the year ended 30th November 2008 net cash flow from investing activities previous webinar series බලන්න හොඳට cash flow එක ගණන් ගෙම හොඳට හදලා ඇති right Cater a limited liability company right has now non-current asset with carrying amount 2.5 million on 1st December 2007 1st December 2007 property plant and equipment PPE then opening balance එක කීයක් තියෙනවද 1st December 2007 2.5 million අපි 2.5 million opening balance right 2.5 million depreciation 30th November 2008 වෙනකොට මෙන්න මේවා ටික වෙලාලු depreciation 75000 එහෙනම් carrying amount එක අඩු වෙනවනේ depreciation 75000 carrying amount එක අඩු වෙනවා land and building with carrying amount 1200 was revalued to 1700 revaluation වලින් කීයක් වෙලා වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවද carrying amount එක 1200 minus 1700 sorry 500 වලින් revaluation වැඩි වෙලා revaluation එක debit වෙනවනේ revaluation වලින් asset එක debit වෙනවනේ other comprehensive income credit asset debit revaluation 500,000 carrying amount වැඩි වෙනවා right an asset with carrying amount 120,000 was disposed for 150 carrying amount එක 1200 තියෙන එකක් අයින් වෙනවා disposal මේක අයින් වෙනවනේ carrying amount එක මේ අඩු කරන්න එපා carrying amount එක 1200 120,000. The carrying value of non-current asset at the end of the year 4.2 million. Closing balance. Balance carried forward 4.2 million. Right? 4.2 million. දැන් ඒක එකතු කරලා බලන්න මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Right? 4.2 million 439.95 4,395,000 additions how much 1000 මේතන මොකද වෙනස එන්නේ additions එකතු වෙච්ච නේ additions ටික 1395 1,395,000 මේක ගන්න අපි cash outflow එකක් net cash cash flow එක addition කීයක් තියනවද 1,395,000 addition මේ disposal එක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ disposal 120,000 but disposal 150,000 එහෙනම් cash flow අපි බලන්න cash මිලදී ගන්න ගිය cash මෙච්චරක් outflow එකක් inflow එකක් ආව විකුණලා 150,000 total net cash flow එක 1,245,000 minus correct answer is what D correct answer is D මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම එක්සැමින් අහන්න පුළුවන් මේ වගේ આવොත් මෙහෙම තමයි හදාගන්න ඉස්සලම බලන්න property plant additions කීයද කියලා මෙහෙම additions වන්නේ නේ additions and disposals එකතු කරන්න right done question number 8 right question number 8 Stephen receivable ledger control account receivable ledger control account does not agree with the total receivable ledger පාරණ වගේම එකක් නේ receivable ledger එකත් එක්ක agree වෙන්නලු control account එක he discovered following errors which of the above errors would cause the difference between receivable control account and the receivable ledger receivable ledger එකයි control එක අතර difference එකට බලපාන හේතු මොනවද කියලා අහනවා right number 1 a sale invoice has been entered into sales day book 895 rather than 859 ඉතින් මේවා sales day book එකට enter කරනකොට වැරදිලාලු sales book එකට enter කරද්දි වැරදුනා නම් ඒක වැරද්ද තමයි control account එකට එන්නේ ඒ වැරද්ද තමයි individual ledger එකට යන්නේ එහෙනම් මේක අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ වැරද්දක් හැබැයි අහුවෙන්නේ නැති වැරද්දක් මේක මොකද එක source එක නේ වරදින්නේ දැන් දෙකේම වරදිනවා මොකද sales day book එකෙන් තමයි යන්නේ ledger එකටත් ඔන්න sales day book එකේ casting එකක් නම් අන්න වෙනස අහුවෙනවා එහෙම එකක් නෙවෙයි මේක right එහෙනම් ඒකෙන් නැහැ එන්නේ නැහැ කියන්නේ මොකටද ඉතින් දැන් ආන්සර් කියන බල ආන්සර් එක A මොකද එක නැති ආන්සර් එකකට තියෙන්නේ A කියන උත්තරේ විතරයි ඉතින් ඉතුරු ඒවා කියවන්නත් ඕනේ ඉතුරු වෙනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අහුවෙන්න ඕනේ බලන්න කියලා the receivable column of cash received day book undercast by 600 day book sales day book එකේ එකතු වැරදිලාලු ඉතින් ඒක වැරදුනම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම control account එකට යන ගාන වරදින හැබැයි individual එකට යන ගාන වරදින්නේ නැහැ receivable ledger එකට හරියට යනවා receivable control එකට හරියට එන්නේ නැහැ එහෙනම් control account එකට හරියට එන්නේ නැහැ කියන්නේ වෙනසක් එනවා ඒක බලපානවා එහෙනම් 2 හරි a contra of 400 against purchase ledger has only entered in the control account ඉතින් control account එක විතරක් enter කරලා නම් ledger එකට enter කරලා නැත්නම් contra entry වැඩේ අවුල් වෙනවා එහෙනම් ඒකත් බලපානවා වෙනසකට එහෙනම් 2 and 3 is there in answer A the correct answer is what A දැන් මේකේ මම කියවනේ පළවෙනි එක හරියට confidently දන්නවා නම් වරදින්නේ නැහැ එන්නේ නැහැ කියලා ඒ වෙලම උත්තරේ කියන්න පුළුවන් උත්තරේ කියලා මොකද හැම තැනම මේ වැරදි උත්තරේ තියෙනවා B C D වල එක කියන එක right fine done question number 9 Louis sold goods to Pedro in May 2009 with a list price of 98,000. With a list price of 98,000. Louis allowed trade discount 10%. Louis allows trade discount of 10%. Right? Pedro returned goods with a list price of 3,000. Right? Pedro returned goods with list price of 3,000 on 1st May and returned further 5,000 of goods at list price on 6th June as they were found to be unsuitable. They are not suitable, therefore they decided to return back. How much should be Louis recorded in sales return at 31st May? හොඳ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. මේවා ඉතින් ගිය සතියේ කතා කරපුනේ trade discount එක කතා කරා ගිය සතියේ. Right? Last webinar series, webinar session, if you look at, you can see that. Right? Fine. Right. They are asking how much Louis should recorded in the sales return account at 31st May. 31st May වල right sales return 31st May වල අපි දාන්න ඕනේ sales return එක අහන්නේ. දැන් හොඳට බලන්න Louis sold goods to Pedro in May 2009 list priced of 98,000. List price එක කීයද 98,000. Louis allowed trade discount of 10%. Yeah, trade discount දෙනවා 10%. ඒක වික්කලු. Pedro returned goods with list price 3,000. 3,000 list price එකකින් return කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? On May 31st May මේක වෙලා තියෙනවා 3,000. And further 5,000 goods at list price June. අපිට ඒක අදාළ නැහැ transaction එක. June transaction එක අදාළ කරගන්න. They are asking only what? 31st May. 31st May වල list price එකෙන් අපි return කරාට අපේ return books වලට sales return වලට දාගන්න ඕනේ කීයද? 90% of it. Why? Because we are giving 10% discount. Trade discount එකක්. Right? 3,000 into 90. මෙන්න sales return amount එක 2,700. The correct answer is what? A 2,700. මේක තමයි how much should Louis recorded in sales return account. Sales return account එකට දාගන්න 2,700. Sales return account එකට 2,700 දාගන්න. ඒක තමයි දාගන්න ඕනේ. ඇයි මාර්ච් මේ වලට අදාළ වෙන්නේ ඔච්චරයි. මොකද මේක ඩිස්කවුන්ට් මේල් තියෙන ලිස්ට් ප්‍රයිස් එක. ලිස්ට් ප්‍රයිස් එකටම අපිට එන්නේ නැහනේ. එයා රිටර්න් කරන්න මොකද අපි ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකයි දෙන ට්‍රේඩ් ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එක. ට්‍රේඩ් ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එක මේක 10 අඩු කරලා තමයි අපි සේල්ස් දාගෙන තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් සේල්ස් 10 අඩු කරගත්ත එක තමයි දාන්න ඕනේ මෙතන. බලන්න ඔයා වැරද්ද කරලා මේකත් ගත්තොත් එහෙනම් 5,000. 5,000 වලටත් ගත්ත කියන්නේ 90%. මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ බලන්න දැන්. 5,000 also 90%. 4,500. දැන් එකතු කරලා බලන්න දෙකම. 7,200. 7,200 එකත් උත්තරයක් විදියට තියෙනවා. That is important to understand. ඔයා බලපුවම මේ 7,200 එකත් උත්තරයක් තියෙනවා. but ඒක වැරදි. මේක ඇවිල්ලා June transaction එකක්. examiner asking මේ වලට කීයද? 2,700. Only smart students will answer in this way. Otherwise දෙකම ගත්තා 90% ගැහුවා 7,200 කියලා උත්තරේ සිලෙක්ට් කරා. එහෙම බෑ. එහෙම කරන්න බෑ. right? තව එකක් බලන්න. 98,000 වලට 10%. 9,800. Fortunately ඒක නෑ. 98,000 yeah, ඒක වෙලාවට නෑ. right? Fine. Yeah, correct answer එක මේක. Be careful. Question number 10. Question number 10. Which of the possible accounting policy, which of this possible accounting policy would, if adopt, contravene with international financial reporting standard? International financial reporting standard එක contravene ගැලපෙන්නේ නැති එක මොකක්ද කියලා අහනවා. Right? A newly registered company is considering the accounting policies it should adopt. Policies under consideration are මොනවද? Policies under consideration අපෙන් අහන්නේ ගැලපෙන්නේ නැති ඒවා මොනවද කියලා. Research and development expenditure should be capitalized and amortized over the period in which resultant product is sold or used. According to SLFRS, can we capitalize both research and development cost? So standard says research cost charged to P&L, development cost you can capitalize. Development cost can be capitalized, but research cost you need to charge to where? P&L. Research cost එක දාන්න P&L එකට, development cost එක capitalize කරන්න. මේ තමයි guideline එක. හැබැයි මේක දෙකම capitalize කරන්න යනවනේ, it's a non-compliance, departure from accounting standard. එක හරි. Right? Inventory should be valued at lower of cost or NRV. එක හරි. Inventory should be valued at the lower of cost or net realizable value. ඒක හරි එහෙනම්. ඒක එහෙනම් වැරදි උත්තරයක් නෙමෙයි. contravene වෙන්නේ නැහැ. departure එකක් නෙමෙයි. non-compliance එකක් නෙමෙයි. Okay. Goodwill arise in a business combination should be written off immediately to statement of profit and loss. Goodwill. What is the treatment of a goodwill? Normally standard says internally generated goodwill you will not recognize, but goodwill generated from business combination, acquisitions. අපි තව කම්පැනියක් ගිහලා let's say Chartered Institute purchase Coca-Cola company. So you will pay some extra money for their Coca-Cola brand name, logo. That is goodwill. That you can recognize in your balance sheet, but should not immediately write out to P&L. It's a non-current asset. So you can't write off goodwill that you identify through business combination. You can write off it to what? P&L, which is wrong. So wrong answers, wrong application, wrong selections are what? 1, 3. 1, 3 reflect in answer C. The correct answer is what? C. Question number 11. Right? Question number 11. The question is, which of these suggestions do you agree with? මොන suggestions වලටද agree වෙන්නේ? Right? You have recently been appointed as assistant accountant of PQR company. You are assistant accountant of PQR company. You have assisted in preparing a forecast set of financial accounts. Forecast set of financial accounts for the company whose year end 31st December 2007. Financial forecast හදනවා for the year ended 31st December 2007. The forecast shows that company is expected to make a loss. Our company is expected to make a loss during the year to 31st December 2007. During the year to 31st December 2007. The forecast shows that company is expected to make a loss. Yeah, expected to make a loss during the year 31st December 2007. Done. The managing director is concerned that the company's shareholders would be unhappy, right? Would be unhappy to hear that company had made a loss. කල්පනා කරනවා loss එකක් කියන්න බෑ. You are unhappy. He determined to avoid making a loss if at all possible. එයා try කරනවා මේ loss එක කොහොම හරි නැති කරලා දාන්න. Forecast වලින් පේන loss එක. He has made following suggestions in order to remedy the situation. මේක උගා companies කරනවා. At the end of the year, you will identify, right, we are going to make a loss. And forecast also, we are going to make a loss. So if you are going to make a loss, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You will manipulate financial statement. Then මෙහාන මේ manipulations හරිද කියලා agree වෙනවද කියලා අපි. බලමු පළවෙනි manipulation එක. Manipulation එක පළවෙනි suggestion එක. A valuation of inventory using LIFO completely wrong. LKS 2 is not allowing. Don't read the balance part. Basis as price raise into this will reduce inventory cost. අතහැරලා දාන්න. LIFO is not allowing. It's non-compliance with LKS 2. Create provision against future losses. My God, how do you create provision for future losses? To make a provision, you should be able to measure the amount reliably, estimate should be reliable, and there should be a constructive or legal obligation. There is no legal obligation, there is no contractual obligation to make a provision for future losses, right? Because of that, in the absence of constructive or legal obligation, you can't make a provision, right? On that basis, provision also you can't make. Stop amortizing capital development expenditure. Can we stop amortizing? Which means don't depreciate. ඒ වගේ එකක්. Assets are there but don't depreciate. Development cost is there, you have capitalized, but they say don't amortize. You can't do that. You must amortize. So none of these suggestions you don't agree. You don't agree with this any suggestion. Therefore correct answer is what? What? D. You don't agree with any suggestion. Right? Fine. Question number 12. Which of the following journal entries may be accepted as being correct accounting, so correct according to their narratives? Which of the following journal entry may be accepted? මොන journal entry ද accept කරන්න කියලා narration එකත් එක්ක බලලා. Wages account debit, purchase account debit, building account credit. බෑනේ. building එකට debit කරනවා නම් මේවා credit කරනවා මේවා expense වෙන්න බෑ. මේවා credit දෙන්න debit වෙන්න ඕන කොහෙටද? work in progress. එහෙනම් මේක reverse වෙන්න ඕන. මේක වැරදි. Directors remuneration personal account debit, directors remuneration credit, directors bonus transfer to their account. Directors like bonus transfers එහෙම දාන්න බෑ. Right? Directors like bonus transaction bonus එකක් නේ. It's expense. Right? ඒකත් reverse කරන්න ඕනේ. Suspense account debit, sale account credit. මොකද suspense account එකට දාලා තියෙන්නේ. Correction of errors in addition. මොකද correction එක total credit side of sale account. Total credit side of sale account understated. එහෙනම් credit වැඩි කරන්න ඕන sale. Sale credit, suspense account debit. Which is correct? The correct answer is what? C. Right? 3 only. Correct answer is 3. C only. Right? Fine. Question number 13. Question number 14 is not applicable. I have taken this question from ACCA because consolidation accounts are not there in your syllabus. Therefore, question number 14 is not applicable. But question number 13 is applicable. 13. Read 13. Which of the following cost? Which of the following cost should be considered? Should be included? Which of the following cost should be included in valuing inventories? In valuing inventories of finished good held by manufacturing company. මොනවද inventory cost include කරන්න ඕනේ? Previous webinar session, right? Carriage inwards cost, yes. Carriage outward cost, no. Outward cost you consider as what? Selling cost. If you incur some cost on sales, transport, that is outward, right? That will be part of selling and distribution cost. Depreciation of factory, yes, part of finished good. Accounts department cost relating to wages of production employees, fine, that is also part of finished good cost. So then correct answer is what? Question number 13, answer C, 1, 3 and 4. Carriage inward cost will not be a part of inventory cost. Question number 14, it is consolidation related question. I am not going to discuss, which is out of his syllabus, right? Fine. Question number 15, the following extract is from the statement of profit or loss of Gearing Company for the year ended 30th April 2008. Profit before tax, tax they have given, profit after tax also, profit for the year they have given after tax. Additional information they have given, what is the total amount to be added to retained earning at the end of the financial year. Retained earning වලට add කරන්න ඕනේ amount එක කීයද කියලා අහනවා. Right? What the amount will be added to retained earning at the end of the financial year? මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Additional Gearing Company paid dividend of 21,000 during the year and gain on revaluation of land result in a surplus 18,000. 36,000 is the profit for the year. අපෙන් අහන්නේ retained earning වලට add කරන්න ඕනේ එක. දැන් මෙහෙමනේ. changes in equity එකේ cash capital එක තියෙනවා, share capital, reserves, retained earning and total. ඔහොමනේ තියෙන්නේ අපි කතා කරපු format එක ඔහොම තමයි තියෙන්නේ. දැන් අපි නා profit for the year දීලා තියෙනවා. Profit for the year. How much? 36,000. 36,000. Gearing Company paid dividend of 25,000 during the year. During the year profit වලින් pay කරලා දෙනවා dividend. How much? During the year වලින් pay කරලා තියෙනවා 21,000. 21,000. 21,000 අයින් කරපුවාම 15,000. Revaluation reserve you will add to comprehensive income, but that will reflect where? Here, revaluation reserve. Retained earning වලට add කරන අපි 15,000. මේ දෙක එකතු කරලා කට්ටි දානවා. එහෙම බෑ. උත්තරේ මොකද්ද? D 15,000. බලන්න මේකද එකතු කරත් කීයද කියලා? 18,000 and 15,000 33,000. ඒකත් උත්තරයක් විදිහට ඇති ඔගේ. 33,000. ඒකත් තියෙනවා. මං කිව්වා ළඟින් යන වැරදි උත්තරයක් තියෙනවා. දැන් ඔයා බලනවා right දෙකම එකතු කරලා රිටේන් ඕනේ නෑ මේක වැරදි. මොකද retained earning add වෙන revaluation reserve වලට තමයි add වෙන්නේ revaluation surplus එක. reserve වලට add වෙන්නේ. අහන්නේ retained earning මෙන්න මෙතෙන්ට add වෙන ගාන. හරියට මෙතෙන් add වෙන්නේ 15,000. You have to be careful. මෙන්න මේ තමයි mistakes. ඔයා දන්නව හොඳට වැඩේ. හදිස්සි වෙලා කලබල වෙලා වැඩේ කරනවා ගන්නවා. එහෙම කරගන්න යන්න එපා. Right? Question number 16. What does an increase in allowance for receivable result in? Allowance in receivable result in increase in current liabilities, increase in net profit, increase in working capital, decrease in working capital. අමුතු ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහලා තියෙන අමුතු විදිහකට. අපි මෙහෙම ගලපමු උත්තරේ. Right? ඔයාගේ working capital කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? cash, payable, cash වලින් බඩු purchase කරපුවම payable හැදෙනවා. purchase කරපුවම inventory එනවා. ඉන්වෙන්ටරි විකුණපුවම රිසීවබල් හැදෙනවා. රිසීවබල් නැවත කෑෂ් වෙනවා. මෙන්න සයිකල් එක වර්කින් කැපිටල්. දැන් අපෙන් අහන what does an increase in allowance for receivable result in allowance මෙන්න මේ receivable allowance එක වැඩි වෙනවලු. allowance for receivable increase වෙන්නේ මොන result මොනවා වුණාමද? right? increase. decrease in current liabilities. current liabilities අඩු වුණා කියන්නේ current liabilities අඩු වුණාම impact එකක් තියෙනවද receivable වලට? නෑ නේ. current liabilities අඩු වුණාම receivable වලට impact එකක් නෑ. increase in net profit. net profit එක working capital එකට කොහොමවත් impact එකක් නෑ. මෙතන receivable වලට බලපෑමක් නෑ. increase in working capital. increase in working capital කියලා කියන්නේ මේක minus figure එකක් නේ. මේවා plus, මේවා minus, මේවා plus, මේක plus. increase වෙනවා කියන්නේ inventory වැඩි වෙනවා හෝ receivable වැඩි වෙනවා. receivable වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ allowance එක වැඩි වෙන්නේ. right? decrease in working capital. decrease in working capital කියලා කියන්නේ receivable අඩු වෙලා ඇතිනේ. receivable අඩු වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මොකකින්දද? provision කරපු හින්දා. allowance for provision වැඩි වෙච්ච හින්දා receivable අඩු වෙනවා. මොකද මේක වැඩි වුණාම allowance එක අඩු කරන්න receivable වලින් you deduct allowance from receivable. Therefore when you reduce receivable work, which means working capital reduce, allowance increase. Correct answer is what? D. Smartly think. එහෙම තමයි හිතන්න ඕනේ. right? So allowance increase when working capital decrease. Question number 16 answer D. Question number 17. right? Question number 17. little important question. මේ වගේ අර dates තියෙන්නේ. පටලවලා දෙන්නේ. right? හොඳට බලා ගන්න. මේකෙත් පටලවලා තමයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. අහන්නේ මොකද? What is the amount to be charged to the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2020? අපි එහෙම 2020 කියලා හිතමු. right. A company telephone bill consists of two elements. One is rental charges. Telephone bill has two elements. Rental charges. One is quarterly rental charge payable in advance. Make a payable in advance. In advance. Right? And other one is quarterly charge and call charges. call charges. Right? Payable in arrears. Make a payable in arrears. මේවා පටල ගන්නවාමයි. right? ඒකයි මම මේ විස්තර කරන්නේ. Make a pay in advance, make a payable in arrears. right? Fine. දැන් මොකද කියන්නේ? At 1st April 2009, right? At 1st April 2009, the previous bill dated 1st March 2009. 1st April 2009. 1st April 2009, previous bill dated March 1st March 2009 included line rental 90. line rental 90 තියෙනවලු. opening balance 90 තියෙනවා line rental 90. මේක අපි pay කරන්නේ කවද්ද? 1st March quarterly pay කරන්නේ 1st March 2019. අපි එහෙම කියමු 90 තියෙනවා. right? And estimate call charges during March 80. Estimate call charges during March 80. Call charges March වල 80. March වල call charges එක 80 ලු. Call charges pay in arrears. මේක pay in arrears. arrears තමයි pay කරන්න අපි. During the 12 months total bill 2145 received 1st June, 1st September, 1st December and 1st March 2020. Each contain rental 90 as well as call charges. Estimate call charges during the month was 120. estimated call charges during 120 March 2019 sorry 2020 120 දැන් අහනවා amount to charge to P&L මෙන්න මෙදාට 31st March 2020 charge කරන්න ඕනේ amount එක අහනවා right total call bill එක කීයද total bill 1000 total bill sorry prepayment එකක් තියෙනවා මෙතන ඉස්සලා අපි ඉතින් පටන් ගමු මේක prepayment මෙන්න මේක pay කරලා right මේක pay කරන්න එක payable in advance කලින් pay කරන්නේ 1st March 2090 එහෙනම් ගිය අවුරුද්දේ එක මාසයයි අයිති වෙන්නේ quarterly නේ එහෙනම් 90 මාස දෙකක් 2/3 අදාළ වෙන්නේ April May 2020 නේ එහෙනම් මේ අවුරුද්දේ මේක එහෙනම් prepayment right 1st March 2019 වලින් 90 දෙකක් මේ අවුරුද්දේ අදාළයි නේ 60 හරිනේ මේක මාර්ච් වලට එකක් කැපිලි ගියපුවම අදාළ වෙනවා P&L එකට මේ අවුරුද්දේ මාස දෙකක් 60ක් total bill එක full year bill 2145යි ඒකත් දෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ මේකෙන් අවුරුද්ද අවසානයේ දැන් 90ක් රෙන්ටල් එකනේ එහෙනම් 1st March 2020 මේ 90 පේ කරලා තියෙනවා නේ මේ 2145 ඇතුලේ මේ 90 තියෙනවා 90න් අපිට අදාළ වෙන්නේ 1 month 2 months prepayment එහෙනම් ඒක අයින් කරන්න 2 months prepayment අයින් කරන්න 90 2 months means 20 April May prepayment right prepayment April May 2020 මේක අපිට අදාළ අවුරුද්ද නෙමෙයි මේ payment එක ඇතුළේ මේ 2145 ඇතුළේ මේ prepayment එක තියෙනවා අපිට අදාළ එක මාසෙ එහෙනම් අදාළ මාස දැන් දෙක අයින් කරා අදාළ නැති මාස දෙක අයින් කරා 60 you removed 60 right done then accrued එකක් තියෙනවානේ 80 rupees right estimated call charges this 80 pay in arrears you pay in arrears මේක ඇතුලේ මේක pay කරලානේ but this 80 is relevant for previous year arrears call charges 2145 you paid including this because this pay in arrears no March bill you pay in April so in this financially therefore this 80 also you have removed and call charges for March relevant call charges for March they have given 120 you add this enna mekai katandare right එහෙනම් 60 plus 2145 minus 60 minus 80 plus 120 2185 this should be added this should be the answer right the correct answer is what then answer A correct answer is A correct answer is A right fine so be careful මේක අපි අයින් කරන්නේ අයියේ මේ pay කරපු එකේ sorry මේ 2145 ඇතුළේ ගිය අවුරුද්දේ next year April May තියෙන හින්දා මේක අයින් කරන්නේ අයියේ මේ 80 වෙන්නේ relevant වෙන්නේ previous අවුරුද්දේ හින්දා හැබැයි pay කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ 2145 ඇතුළේ හින්දා right because of that you have to remove those question number 18 right they are asking what which of the following which of the following set of item all appear on the statement on the same side of the trial balance එක same side එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ කියලා අහනවා how simple this question is right sale credit interest received credit accrual credit එක හරි receivable debit drawings discount received credit එහෙනම් ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ non current asset debit cost of sale debit carriage outward debit because it's an expense no debit එකත් හරි 1 3 okay 4 capital credit trade payable credit other operating expenses debit ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ sundry expense debit prepayment debit purchase debit එහෙනම් උත්තරය 135 is there in answer B 135 is the answer B right fine so these are the questions right question number 19 and 20 quickly if I take you through right last two questions from your balance sheet for net asset formula මේවා බලන්න previous webinar series එක අපි මේක කතා කරා we have discussed this in previous webinar series අහන්නේ මොකද්ද increase in net asset 173 drawings 77 capital increase 45 net profit එක අහනවා ඔක්කොටම කලින් බලන්න equation එක closing net asset equal opening net asset plus new capital අලුතින් capital එක දාපු එක plus net profit for the year minus drawing ඕකනේ දැන් අපෙන් අහන්නේ net profit එක එහෙනම් closing net asset එක මේ පැත්ත අනික කරලා ගන්න closing net asset minus opening net asset right new capital එක minus වෙනවා මේ පැත්තට යනකොට new capital drawings plus වෙනවා මේ පැත්තේ net profit එක ඉතුරු වෙනවා අපෙන් අහන්නේ net profit එක නේ net profit එක මේකට අපි කියනවා net change new capital drawings equal net profit බලන්න දැන් තියෙන figures මොනවද කියලා increase in net asset 100 net change increase in new capital sorry net asset 173 new capital introduced 45 minus drawings plus කරන්නලු 77 net profit how much is the net profit figure 173 minus 45 plus 77 295 drawings how much net asset 177 drawing 77 plus minus 45 sorry minus 45 I made a mistake 205 the correct answer is 205 B capital introduce 50 profit brought forward from the beginning of the year 100 liability 70 assets 90 assets are 90 they are asking retained earning from the profit retained earning right so equation is capital equal what asset minus liabilities right capital asset minus liabilities so capital how much capital introduced 50 right 50 and profit brought forward at the beginning of the year එකත් capital එක ඇතුළේමයි තියෙන්නේ 100 මොකද net asset නේ 100 right and liability is 70 assets how much 90 right මෙතන plus what they are asking what retained profit 150 plus profit capital කියන්නේ ඒකනේ 20 එහෙනම් profit equal 20 minus 150 profit එක තියෙන්නේ loss එකක් තියෙන්නේ නනේ 130 equation එකට දාන්න loss of 130 answer is B loss of 130 so this is the question bank which covers all the topics that will help you to understand what areas you have missed we will continue this session with SLFRS 15 also this is the last standard which is the annual syllabus once we discuss that standard everything will be covered. Let's discuss SLFRS 15. SLFRS 15 revenue is recognized when, right? So how do you recognize? At which point you recognize revenue? So all these things clarified in SLFRS 15 revenue from contract, right? Earlier there were a lot of standards, right? Those standards are different from one to another. There's a standard called revenue LKS 18 and revenue from construction LKS 13 or whatever, I can't remember, right? So all these standard removed and introduced one standard called SLFRS 15. There it has clearly explained at which point we recognize revenue. To recognize revenue, what are the prerequisites? Straight away you can't recognize revenue as you wish. There are some prerequisites, right? There are 5 steps that you need to follow, which is called 5-step model to recognize revenue. This is very complex standard, but for your level, this was simplified. To your level, this was simplified. But complexities of the standard, complex scenarios of revenue recognition, you will discuss when you come to business level and strategic level. Sorry, corporate level and strategic level. At this level, basic revenue recognition conditions you should understand. Basically, you have to focus on 5 steps and you have to deal with some examples. All these things are there in this slide, so then you can easily understand to handle any question at this level. But this knowledge is not suitable to manage what corporate level and strategic level exam questions, right? Fine. Anyway, revenue is recognized when? Simple answer is when you perform, when you satisfy performance obligation. When you satisfy performance obligation at a point in time, you recognize revenue. What do you mean by performance obligation? Right? What do you mean by performance obligation? Before I explain performance obligation, let me take you to this model called 5-step model. Right? Revenue recognize करने वाले मैंने में step पहे unknown इलू. 5-step model you have to follow. Right? First one says there should be a contract. Right? There should be a contract. 5-step model. There should be a contract. Number 1. Contract. What do you mean by contract? Contract means agreement between 2 parties. Sale එකක් වෙන්න contract එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Contract means agreement between 2 parties. Between 2 parties, which is called contract. Agreement between 2 parties. So in this agreement, one party has rights, one party has obligation, and one party has obligation. Definitely agreement means that, no? Right? Seller has obligation, customer has rights. Right? So one party has rights, one party has obligation. Contract එකක එහෙම තමයි කොහොමද තියෙන්නේ agreement එක. One party has rights to receive something and one party has obligation to deliver something. Right? So this contract can be written or oral. It can be written or oral. Agreement between 2 parties, it can be written agreement or oral agreement or verbal agreement. Written or oral. Written or oral. Verbal agreement. Either written or oral. Right? Both can be. That doesn't matter. Right? Once you have contract, මේක තමයි contract එක. දැන් තියෙනවා agreement එක parties දෙකක් අතර. identify performance obligation. Identify contract එක ඇතුළේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ performance obligation එකක්. Performance obligation. Here, one party has obligation. What is that obligation? Minimum obligation before you recognize revenue. One party has an obligation. What is that obligation? The obligation meaning? Obligation means promise to customer to transfer something. Promise to customer to transfer something. This obligation is promise. It's a promise to customer to transfer goods or service. Transfer goods or service. Or service. Promise to customer to transfer goods or service, which is called what? Obligation. Obligation. Make the obligation. You have to identify this. Right? What is the promise to transfer goods? This is called obligation. Identify this obligation. It can be one obligation or two obligation. Right? Goods or service or series of goods or service. Right? දැන් අපි කියමු cleaning service එකක් කියලා. Series of activities. දැන් මේ මාසෙ month on month you have obligation to settle perform. Right? Cleaning service has their obligation to provide that service. So my obligation, I have a contract with, take my example, I have a contract with Chartered Institute, then agreement between Chartered Institute and me. I have an obligation, right? I have an obligation to deliver this, complete this syllabus. So then only I have rights to receive cash, right? What is the obligation? Promise to customer to deliver this lecture. That's my obligation. Identify that obligation. Delivery of these lectures, right? Identify that obligation. Third one, determine transaction price. Once you identify obligation, since you are delivering that obligation, you have a price for that obligation. Identify transaction price. Price. You need to identify transaction price. What is the price of this obligation? Right? Transaction price means selling price. This means selling price minus tax collected from on behalf of third party. Minus tax collected on behalf of third party. Selling price means this standalone price, it can be standalone price, right? Selling price means standalone price, sorry, that come to other point, right? Standalone price, so I'll explain that later on, right? Third one, complete identify selling price. Selling price can selling price equal transaction price equal selling price minus tax collected on behalf of third party, right? Fourth one, allocate transaction price, right? Allocate transaction price to obligation. Price to obligation. Let's say here you have many performance obligation. Performance obligation 1, performance obligation 2. So this transaction price you can allocate to performance obligation 1 and to performance obligation 2. You allocate transaction price. When you allocate transaction price, standalone selling price, right? You can take standalone selling price. When you allocate standalone selling price, which means when I purchase this marker pen, right, from the market, contract is to purchase this marker pen from the market, obligation is to deliver this, promise is to deliver this marker pen to my location. What is the price? Selling price. Selling price of this, and minus any VAT if you collect on behalf of IRD, you have to deduct it. Allocate when you allocate transaction price, which is a standalone selling price, make a vikunu mage, you can take it from observable market price, right? Market price, that is observable price. Observable price from the market price. If it is not there, right, if you can't observe that, right, if it is not observable price not there, observable price not there, then you have to consider what? Estimate. Price you have to estimate now. මේ මාකර් පෙන් එකේ standalone price එකක්, market price එකක් observe කරන්න බැයි නම් market එකේ, then you take the estimate price. But marker pens වගේ දේවල් වලට මේ ගන්න පුළුවන්. Observable price එකක් තියෙනවා. Finally, once you allocate transaction price to obligations, recognize revenue. Finally, you can recognize revenue. Finally, you can recognize revenue. When you recognize revenue, right? When do you recognize revenue? When control transfer. When control over goods sold transfer to customer, buyer, you can recognize revenue, right? When you recognize revenue, when control, very important, when you transfer controls, you will identify revenue. මෙන්න මේ 5 step model එක යන්න ඕනේ අපි revenue එකක් recognize කරද්දී. පළවෙනි එක, there should be contract between two parties. It can be a written contract, oral contract, right? In that there should be agreement, you have rights and obligation, then identify performance obligation. මොකක්ද obligation එක? Seller has, right? Promise to customer to transfer goods or service. That's the obligation. Identify transaction price. What is that price? Price means selling price minus tax collection from on behalf of third party. Allocate that price to performance obligation. This, now let's say this will come to picture when there are more obligations, right? So allocate this price into more obligations. So that will be standalone selling price from the market. If you can't observe, that will be estimated price, but this will be advanced thing. Examiner will not test, I believe. And finally, recognize revenue when control of goods transfer to customer. Only you can recognize revenue. That's a good example. Look at this example. Right? Look at this example. In this example, right, 5-step model is applied to a simple sale transaction involving the sale of single product. Sale of single product, which means you have one performance obligation, one single product. Single product. බලමු මොකක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. TDF is a company that manufactures office furnitures. They manufacture office furnitures. A customer placed an order on 22nd December 2004. Customer placed an order on 22nd December 2004 for an office desk at a price of 36,000. At a price of 36,000. Order placement, order place date. Order place date. Let me erase this. Right? Order place date. When? 22nd December 2004. For an office desk of price 36. Transaction price 36,000. Transaction price. Identify transaction price. The desk was delivered to customer on 25th January 2005. Delivered. 25th January 2005. Delivered date. Who accept the goods as satisfactory by signing the delivery note. TDF then invoiced to customer for the desk 1st February 2005. Invoiced. 1st February 2005. Invoice date. Customer paid 1st March 2005. Paid. 1st March 2005. There are 4 days. Order place date, delivered date, invoice date and paid date. How to recognize revenue? What is the contract? Contract is the place in order. This is a contract. Contract agreement between these two parties. Place in order. This day you will come to a contract. 22nd December 2004. You entered into a contract. Contract created through purchase order. Identify performance obligation. What is the performance obligation? Place an order for an office desk. Price office desk. To deliver office desk. Performance obligation. You have to deliver office desk. Here, deliver office desk. That's a promise to customer. Identify transaction price 36,000. Allocate transaction price, right? That is standalone. 36,000 you allocate to this performance obligation. Right? 37. Recognize revenue. When you transfer control, there are 4 days. Order placement date, you don't transfer control. Delivery date, yes, you have transferred control. You have transferred asset to buyer and he is using from this date onwards and he has confirmed the functionality of it. Right? Satisfactory. Right? Who accepted the goods as satisfactory. Satisfactory. Thereafter you invoice. Doesn't matter for us. Paid. Doesn't matter for us. These 2 days are not relevant. You have to recognize revenue on this date. Nice. Why? You transfer control to buyer on this date because he has accepted and signed off the delivery note saying that we are satisfied with the goods. They have transferred. Be careful. This can be tested. Right? The control transfer date is very important. This is agreement date, contract date. These are invoice date, paid date. Doesn't matter for us. Right? Standard says don't wait till the payment, don't wait till you invoice, recognize revenue when you transfer control. Right? Fine. Coming back to, read this. Performance obligation is satisfied at a point. This will satisfy at a point. You will satisfy performance obligation, you will transfer control at a point. Point in time. Make up a point in time. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙමන time period මෙන්න මෙතනදී. You transfer control here. මෙන්න මෙතනදී you transfer කරනවා at a point in time. Or over time. මේක transfer කරන්න over time. මෙන්න මේ period එක ඇතුළෙම. Over time. Then ownership of this example delivered on this at a point. මෙන්න point එක at a point. 25th January 2005 at a point. 25th January 2005 at a point you transfer revenue control. Therefore you recognize revenue on this. Sometimes over time you transfer control. Construction over time. If you transfer 10-story building over time අවුරුදු 2-3ක් ඇතුළත to transfer control. ඒකට අපි කියනවා overtime. Right? This will discuss in detail when it's come to other level, corporate level. Right? Fine. Revenue recognized at a point when 5 indicators below 5 at a point මේ වෙලාවේ 5 indicators තියෙනවා මොනවද? Customer has indicate their willingness to provide cash. Yes, they have accepted this furniture or assets, cash or other settlement, or their liability, meaning that seller has present rights to payment, seller has right to payment, and customer has legal title as asset, and seller has transferred physical possession, physical transfer delivered. Significant risk and reward of ownership has passed to customer. When you deliver, when they accept, significant risk and rewards you have transferred to buyer, and customer has accepted. They have signed off, right? Delivery note they have accepted, saying that we are satisfied with the functionality, right? So these 5 conditions should be satisfied to identify control. Control දෙක දුන්නා කියන්නේ මේවා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Yeah, willing to pay, and legal title is there, and physically you have transferred, and risk and reward you have transferred to buyer, and accepted. Risk and reward, control, ownership, everything should transfer to buyer. Definitions. මෙන්න definitions ටිකක් තියෙනවා. මේවා can be tested. මොකද්ද? Income. Income is increase in economic benefit during the accounting period in the form of inflow of enhancing asset or decrease in liabilities. Enhancing asset or decrease in liabilities resulted in increase in equity. ඒක general income definition. That is there in your conceptual framework. Go and see. Revenue is revenue income කියන්නේ දෙකක්. Revenue is arising in course of entails ordinary activities. From selling goods you will generate revenue. Income කියන්නේ ඒක නෙමෙයි. Income කියන්නේ broader concept එකක්. Revenue is part of what? Income. Contract, I explain you two-part agreement between two parties that will enforce rights and obligations for both parties, right? Performance obligation, I told you, I explained you performance obligation, which means promise to customer, right? It's a promise in a contract with customer to transfer goods or service or series of goods or service, right? Transaction price is the consideration which entity expected to be entitled in exchanging transferring promise goods or service to customer, excluding amount of tax collected on behalf of third party. If you transaction price means selling price by deducting tax collected from third party. Cost of an asset, control of an asset. Control කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Control of an asset describe the standard as ability to direct the use of asset, use of an obtain substantial all remaining benefit. Control එක දුන්නා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? තියෙන proof කොහොමද ඔප්පු කරන්නේ? Ability to direct the use of asset, right, and obtain substantial all remaining benefit. Asset එකේ benefit ඔක්කොම එන්න ඕනේ බයයට ඊට පස්සේ, right? බයයට control කරන්න පුළුවන් එන්න ඕනේ. And control includes ability to prevent other entities to direct the use and obtaining the benefit. මට මේක වික්කනම් මට control කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා කියන්නේ මේකේ control එක මට විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. වෙන කාටවත් මේකට ඇඟිලි ගහන්න බැරි වෙන්න ඕනේ. No one can come and control this. And substantial all the benefit of this asset should be entertained by myself. No one can come and ask benefit or take benefit from this asset. So then you don't have control. If I can control this asset and if all substantial benefit of this asset, if I can entertain, which is called control. 5-step model I explain you, right? This diagram clearly explain what is 5-step model, and in the board also I explain in detail. Revenue we have discussed, right? Revenue may be called different names such as sales, fees. අපිට කියන revenue කියලා. Revenue does not include sales tax. Understand? Revenue එකේ තියෙන sales tax නැත. Value added tax, VAT, or goods or service tax which are only collected from third party because those are not present an economic benefit to the flow entity. Why don't you take those as revenue? Because you collect, if you sell this price at 100, government will ask, collect another 15 or whatever the amount as tax and give it to me. So you collect tax from customer and remit that amount to government. Therefore, by collecting cash as a tax will not enhance, or that is not represent economic benefit of the entity. Economic benefits are not flowing because මෙහෙන් ගත්ත මෙහෙට දුන්නා. Tax collect කරා government එකට ගෙවා. Therefore, tax will not be a part of economic benefit. Therefore, not part of revenue. The same is true for revenue collected by an agent on behalf of principal. Same thing. Now, there are a lot of agents. So, agents will collect price. Now, let's say television එක වික්කා 56,000. This is sold by agent. Agent මේක විකුණුවට 10% commission එකක් දෙනවා. Which means 56,000 into 10%, 5,600. This is called commission. So this is the revenue basically. For agent revenue එක වෙන්නේ 5,600. Sorry, 5,600. 56,000 is not the revenue for agent, right? Because 56,000 will be collected on behalf of principal by agent. Agent how many commission එක. The same is true for revenue collected by agent on behalf of principal. Revenue for agent is only commission received for acting as agent. Clear? Revenue recognition. Right? Revenue recognition. Revenue may be recognized as a result satisfying performance obligation at a point. I told you, at a point you will satisfy, or satisfying performance obligation over time. Here, over time also you can recognize revenue. Example, the point in time determined by considering indicator that customer has obtained control. At which point customer has obtained control? In this example, when you deliver and when customer accept, we are satisfied with this product, at that point you have transferred control. Point in time, right? When control is transferred over time, revenue should be recognized measuring progress towards complete satisfaction of performance obligation. This is done using input method or output method. Let me explain here. Right? What I explain කරන්නම් ඒක. I erase this. Point in time very simple. You can understand easily. At which point you accept. Over time. Over time means, over time, when you recognize revenue over time, which means during this period, over this period, right? When you recognize revenue over time, you can method two things. You can use two methods. Input method, output method, right? Input method means, example, cost incurred as a portion of total cost expected to be incurred. Let's say over time you recognize revenue, let's say building construction, right? Construction, 10-floor building, right? So then you recognize revenue once you progress එක base කරන්න මේකෙත් කියනවා මේ measuring progress towards progress බලන total estimated cost, let's say 10 million, total cost 10 million, incurred cost බලන්න input method කියන්නේ මේකයි. total cost එක ඇවිල්ලා 10 million, incur කරේ 1 million. එහෙනම් input method 10%. අපි agree වුණා total construction එකේ price එක විදිහට 200 million. 200 million වලින් දැන් 10% cost incur කරලා. එහෙනම් 200 into 10%. 20 million is the revenue. 200 into 10%. 20 million. On revenue consider. Cost as a part of cost. Output method means value in work completed to due compared to total sale volume. මෙතන output එක. output එක කියන්නේ total sale value where contract will work completed. Work completed into total sale value. Total sale value. Output method. Right? කොච්චරක් වැඩ ඉවර කරලා තියෙනවද? කොච්චරකින් 200 million කොච්චරක් ඉවර කරලා තියෙනවද? Output method. මේක කියන්නේ cost input කියන cost method එකෙන්. So this also can be tested two methods. I don't think calculation will not be tested, but මේ output method over time එකේදී progress basis revenue recognition is there. කොහොමද measure කරන්නේ? Input method එකටයි output method එකටයි. So that's all about fundamentals of revenue recognition according to SLFRS 15. So go through this 30 minutes video relating to IFRS 15, SLFRS 15 revenue recognition. Basically you have to put more focus on 5-step model and understand the example that we have discussed here and apply those example to this 5-step model. So then you can understand this standard easily and you can manage any exam question out of coming from SLFRS 15 in your exam level, because you are in your exam level complex areas of SLFRS 15 will not be tested. So whatever the question you can manage with the knowledge that with the session that we have done during this 35 minutes. Right? Fine. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.